Welcome to a very special episode. Kyle and I have had a lot of questions about what exactly our company stands for. How are we, mission back, action packed? What do we want this brand to do for you as the consumer? And we're going to answer all of that in this episode because we want to lay it out nice and simple for what we are. We are, simply put, the brand for entrepreneurs. There are no apparel brands out there that Kyle and I can find that have made significant impact in terms of being the go-to brand for entrepreneurs. And because Kyle and I are so hell-bent on escaping the 9-to-5, living the life we want to live, creating that family of visionaries different from the rest, we want to be different, we want to be unique, break away from the status quo, we want to be ourselves, we want you to be you. We want to build a brand around that by actually providing action. Okay, so we're going to talk all about how we're going to provide action and how we're going to put our money where our mouth is in this episode coming up. But Kyle, let's get into why we are, the brand for entrepreneurs. Would you like to take her away?
Sure. So I think the main pillars of our business revolve around our phrase, right? Be all in, and that's believe, challenge, and inspire. We want you to believe in yourself. We want you to challenge others, and we want you to, or challenge yourself, and then we want you to inspire others. And through that, that really defines an entrepreneur, in my opinion. It's someone who's looking to do whatever it is that they're going to do, and they're going to give it their best because it's something that they're passionate about. It's something that they know that once they do it, they can make a difference in someone's life, whether it's one person or hundreds of thousands of people. And when Cam and I came up with the phrase "be all in," we knew that we wanted to be some type of entrepreneurial company. And so when we had the phrase "be all in," it just made sense to have some type of loyalty program that not only helps show what that means, but it also is action-based, action-backed. So like all these companies like Nike and Alphalete, they're like, oh, just do it, or dream it, you can do it. But it wasn't enough for us to just say, oh, whatever you do, just be all in, because we wanted to actually put action behind that. And so, Cam, I'll let you go ahead and take over what the actual action piece is that we're so excited about.
Well, thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
But, so, it is no secret that when it comes to being an entrepreneur, that lack of funding seems to be the biggest hurdle. And I'm not going to sit here and say that Kyle and I are going to turn into a bank and we're just going to pump money out because we're not a bank, right? But the big reason why people follow brands are because they're relatable. They can resonate with what the brand stands for. They like the clothes, they like the apparel, whatever. It's comfortable, durable, blah, 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 whatever the case may be. But we wanted to create a relatable brand. And for entrepreneurs, what's relatable is the fact that cash flow, seems to be an issue when you're a startup. Now, Kyle and I, we took that idea of, okay, we went to look for what entrepreneurs, what are some of the biggest issues that they face. And because cash is king, we had talked about how can we necessarily, find a strategy to give back to our consumer base. Because our demographic is pretty set in stone when it comes to an entrepreneur. And what's great about that is an entrepreneur isn't defined by any age, by any one ethnicity, by any one race, by any one point of origin. It could be literally anyone willing to wake up and do it and make it happen. So we had talked about the issue of funding, and we came up with a way to help mitigate and help fix some of the issue at hand. And this is by pioneering a new category in the apparel industry that has not been done before, and it's called Visionwear. Kyle and I are calling it Visionwear. It's catchy, we like it. It has come a long way from where we started with the naming convention. So within Visionwear, this has made us like the first apparel company to invest back in our consumer group. So we know as entrepreneurs that you're not going to want to spend $50, $60 on some shorts or a shirt or a pair of leggings or joggers, whatever the case may be, because as an entrepreneur, you want to take that money and you want to put it forth towards your business. So we're going to offer what Kyle and I, this is why we've been testing products for, we're coming up on like 9-10 months now, trying to find the right ones. We've been testing products, and we're not so concerned about like the greatest profit margins. I know like with a lot of companies, they want to maximize their profit margins. Kyle and I, we're not really looking at it from that angle because we know who our demographic is. We know the community that we want to build for entrepreneurs, a brand that is relatable, a brand that, yes, when you wear the IP logo or you got the Ironpulse name or the Be All In, like wherever it is on your clothes, that you can write your own story with it. It has its own meaning, but you can write the story how you choose. So we came up with Visionwear. All right, so Visionwear being the first apparel company to actually invest back in its consumer group, through Visionwear, it led to the Vault. Okay, so with the Vault is our actual like loyalty program in terms of how we give money back to the customer. So I'm going to break down exactly how it's going to happen if you went on our website and placed an order. So if you went on our website, you would create an account for free and you'd become part of Envision Nation. That's what we're calling it. It's not some loyalty perk or some loyalty. You just join the loyalty program. You're part of the Envision Nation because you're going to be different. You're going to be yourself. You're an entrepreneur. Like, let's go and get it. You're making shit happen outside of just saying that you're going to. Okay, so now that you've created your free account, maybe you bought a shirt for $30, $35. Whatever, however Kyle and I figure out what we want to charge for pricing. So you buy that shirt, you accumulate, let's say 10 points. Okay. So let's just say 100 points. So let's just say that through those 100 points, you want to go to redeem through the Vault. Well, you could redeem through the Vault and we would convert your points to cash. Let's just, for the simplicity's sake for math, let's just say your 100 points equated to $10. Well, we would take that $10 and Kyle and I would match it, the company, and invest it into your company. So we take your $10, we turn it into $20 if we're going to match 1-to-1. It depends on what tier you're at. We either match 1-to-1 or 2-to-1 to start. So we're either going to give you $20 or $30 depending on what tier you're in. And the tiers are based on how much points you've actually accumulated over time. They don't reset. So once you gain those points, you have those points. You're just going to keep climbing the ladder. Anyway, right. So what we do is we take that money because we're investing it, we're matching you, we believe in you, we're actually putting forth money to your business from our business. And all we need is your PayPal or your Venmo, whatever one you prefer. And we're literally going to send that money to you once to your business, because this is for your business, right? So like if you're a startup, if you have a side hustle, if you're struggling to get started with your business and you need a little bit of funding and you want to brand in a community that you can resonate with, that is in the same exact boat as you, this is the brand for you. And we'll take that money and we'll just send it to your PayPal, send it to your Venmo, right? So that's one way. You can go through the Vault, which is the big one. If you prefer to donate to a nonprofit charitable organization or a fundraiser, you just need to send us the link, the URL, to what the company actually is, and then we'll do the same thing. We'll match it 1-to-1 or 2-to-1, and we'll make that donation on your name and your behalf, and we'll send you the invoice because you're helping other people, as well. So those are the two ways. Or obviously the third way, you can put it towards future purchases on the website if you would like to use it to buy more items. When Kyle and I decided to do this, we looked at other companies' loyalty programs, and they all do two things. One, they all give back in terms of like you going back and putting more money back into the store. Okay, like you can sit there and buy like $100 or $500 worth of stuff. And at the end of the day, maybe you get like a $10 coupon and you put it back into the store for future purchases. So at the end of the day, the money is still going back to them, which Kyle and I, we have that opportunity if you want to buy more clothes, but we want to obviously spend that money, on you. Number two, usually they do have some form of like charity that they're working with. A lot of the companies that Kyle and I have seen, they've worked with some charity of some sort that resonates with their brand. But outside of the charity that they're working with, they're not really really taking strides themselves in terms of doing anything besides saying, hey, like, maybe put your money here, or like we'll match, you buy a pair of socks, we'll give a pair of socks to this other company. But Kyle and I, like, if that's their consumer base, like, great, like that's their demographic. But Kyle and I, we know our demographic. We know that we want to be the brand for entrepreneurs, and we want to obviously give back through actually donating to your company without forcing you to, just continue to circulate the points through our own website. So the first company to actually invest back into our customers. Is there anything you want to add to that?
No, I think just, final remarks. I just, this is the most unique rewards loyalty program that I think I've ever come across or ever thought of or could have even dreamt of. I mean, for anybody who's looking to start a brand, if there were a clothing brand out there that was willing to invest back into me at some point when I was ready to make that leap, or if I already had a company and I needed new clothes for some type of reason, I would choose some company like this that is willing to give money back to me for my business that I'm trying to start or that I want to create in the future whenever I'm ready to do that, as opposed to just putting money into a company just for them to say, hey, here's some points that you can use to buy more of my stuff at some other point. So I think it's really cool, and it really backs our mission and our vision as well, and trying to create almost a whole community of people that just kind of feed off of each other, that are motivated and driven.
Right. There is no other loyalty program out there in the world like this, like exactly what Kyle and I are building. And you see it in the podcast that we do, entrepreneurs, and being the go-to brand for them to resonate with, being the brand to build that community around entrepreneurs. And it's super simple. Create a free account on our website, like purchase an item. If you want the money to pull the money out, it's an investment from us to you. We'll match it 1-to-1, 2-to-1, and we'll PayPal or Venmo you that money. It's super simple. All you need to do is, is purchase an item and become part of the Envision Nation and become a part of the brand. And then we'll invest also into you. We'll take our money from our bank account and we will invest it into you. Pending that you are a startup or you're taking, wavelengths and making moves to actually want to become like an entrepreneur and break away from the status quo. That's another thing, is like if you're not doing those things, Kyle and I are going to check. Like, we're going to look, because you have to submit, like, either we're trying to figure out the fine details behind what we want, but we want to see your social media active. We want to see if you have a website. Great, you have a website, because we want to promote your company on our podcast as well, and like give back and say thanks to the people that are supporting us. So the more information that you give about your company, and the more story that you tell to Kyle and myself, the more we're going to have to market yourself for free on our platforms. Because that's the community that we want to build, and this is why Visionwear was created. Trust me, Visionwear is going to go places. It's going to go places for sure. But this is, it's catchy. It is catchy. This is the go-to brand for entrepreneurs, and we can end it there. If you like and found value in this podcast, in this episode, please, give us a follow on official Ironpulse on Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. TikTok is new for us. We haven't really started that yet, but we're going to be hopping on that come launch day. So if you want to sign up for the Ironpulse report, you can do so now at ironpulseathletics.com. And remember, no matter what you do, be all in.